NERDSoul. Yeah, late ill kid at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. And what is up, my people? Today we have another glorious episode of That's Right Thumbnails. We're going to be talking about animation, Toons, all of that stuff that is so great. And before we get started off, I just got to give a big shout out to all you guys that have been showing me love on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. Keep shining, keep sharing, keep hollering at me, sending me messages on Twitter and all that stuff. I will talk back to y'all, and I've been enjoying it. So first up, you know what we got to start off, and that's with that Star Wars Rebels. This week we had Trials of the Darksaber, and it was a Sabine-centric episode. You know my team is Hera, Kanan, and Sabine, and I love this episode. It was great, and I think the best part about this episode is that we got a little bit of history mixed up in our episode, expanding the lore of Star Wars. We got to learn about the history of the Darksaber, and that it was once owned by Visla, who was this amazing Mandalorian Jedi way back in like the Old Republic days, and that was his weapon, that was his saber, that was his, equipment. That was his weapon of choice, and he used it well. He cut down many enemies. He could not be stopped. He was the man, and he represented not only Mandalore, but the Jedi Order amazingly. Now, one thing that's cool is that we get a little turmoil that's involved with the history of this, because during the Mandalorian and Jedi Wars, the Darksaber was stolen and brought back to Mandalore and given to the Visla, house that was in Mandalore, and it became a symbol of, how should you say, leadership in Mandalore. And whoever held that status symbol became the leader. And as we've seen, with Darth Maul having it and things like that, and the Clone Wars, that they stick very close to that lore. Whoever holds that Darksaber is the leader. And I really just enjoyed it because it stretched and expanded the lore. It made our world bigger instead of smaller, because they could have easily said that this was owned by, Luke's great grandfather or something, or Obi-Wan's great grandmother or something, but they expanded the lore by making this a completely different character that's unrelated to our main saga folks, and gave him a little bit of history, and also dropped some history nuggets in there for us between the issues between the Jedi and the Mandalorians, and it was pretty cool. I have to say that this episode really shined through, and on top of the training that Sabine went through to become a wielder of the Darksaber. Becoming one with the saber, feeling the power and the weight in the blade, fighting with the sticks, and then fighting later on with the actual lightsaber itself. And it was just cool to see the attitude that she had before and after the episode, and also why she left Mandalore and how she feels about her family and the reason her family feels the way they do about her. And this episode was definitely dope. It was on point. I definitely think if you have not checked it out, go check out Trials of the Darksaber, because Sabine's killing it and you get a lot of dope history. So next up, we've got, that's right, WB is giving us a couple of first looks at Teen Titans Judas Contract. If you didn't know, last year they made a couple of, statements on how they're going to be bringing Teen Titans Judas Contract back. And now we're starting to get some of the first looks of that Judas Contract, and it looks like we're going to be right in line with what we're used to seeing from DC. Some top quality animation, some cool characters, and the thing that interests me about this is that it seems like the characters that we're going to be getting in this animated film or animated feature are going to be a lot of the characters that we're used to seeing in Young Justice. And we know that Young Justice is also coming back. So I'm wondering if they're going to be using this story as a jumping off point, or a way to get people back used to seeing our characters like Beast Boy, like Blue Beetle, things of that nature. We did get to see that Nightwing had a little different look than he had from the animated series. So it'll be cool to see where this goes, how it shakes up. If you haven't checked out the Judas Contract, it's an amazing storyline from Marv Wolfman and I think George Perez. Back in the day, centric with the Teen Titans, there's a lot of interwoven, vigilantes, a lot of interwoven villains, and a deeper story than you might expect from the Teen Titans. Dope read. You can check out the video on my channel where we did a podcast, Hannibal, Taboo, and myself, looking back on how great it was. But you should definitely check it out. And when this comes out, keep your eye open because it looks like it's going to be pretty fresh. So next up, we've got Sony. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get their cake and eat it too with this new pick of an animated feature that's going to be a theatrical film that has Miles Morales as Spider-Man. Now, I know there's been a lot of people asking for Miles Morales on the big screen in live action. And to our chagrin, we haven't been able to see that or get that because it's been casted with Tom Holland. And it does look like there's some rips because some of the story elements of the Miles Morales storyline seem to be laid into the Tom Holland Peter Parker storyline. And there's some people that feel a certain way about it. I myself think that in this case, we could have at least gone forward with the Miles Morales storyline simply because we've already had 5 movies of Peter Parker. We've already seen what Peter Parker can do. We've already seen what he can bring to the screen. And it's time to shake it up a little bit with someone new. Even if you wanted, well, that's kind of future, so you couldn't really do Miguel. But what I'm saying is, it would be cool to see it shaken up because once again, we're getting Peter Parker again. And not to say that Tom Holland is a bad actor, but what I'm saying is the character of Peter Parker has been done a lot. And Peter Parker's been done to the point where I myself have Spider-Man fatigue. Like for the animated series, for the animated feature they got coming, I'm kind of cool on Spider-Man right now. And I think something that could have really invigorated this franchise is having Miles Morales in it. So in this case, since they don't have him in live action form, it seems like what they're trying to do is have their cake and eat it too by having an animated feature with Miles Morales. Now, there's not a lot of details as far as plot points, but what we will see is Miles Morales in the suit, flying around, web slinging, doing his thing, and holding it down as a hero in an animated setting. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Jump down in the comments and let me know what you think about this. Do you think it's kind of shortchanging the character? Do you think it's kind of slighting him by having a live action version while there's also an animated version and not really giving Miles Morales the love that he deserves? I'm very interested to see what you guys think because I think it's kind of a cheap way of introducing that character to us. I think it would have been really dope to get Miles Morales in this actual, I guess what you could say, prime movie continuity. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. So that is up and that is it for today. I know Voltron Season 2 came out, but we will check that next week because I wanted to give people at least a chance to watch it. I enjoyed it. I'll just say first, impressions. I thought it was cool. I'm enjoying the new Voltron. Hope you guys are too. So anyway, I will check y'all out next week. And before I bounce, I got to say, hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. You can check us out and see everything that we are doing here at NERDSoul. From the front to the back, beginning to the end, and all that. And then you can check out shop.thatnerdsoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player, and then come back here, like, comment, and subscribe, and share that Nerd Soul. There's no other way that I'm able to let people know that you like what you are watching. And then before I bounce, I gotta give love to LA, VA, and RVA. You got my heart. You guys, y'all better be good to each other. Peace.